You can come into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. You can be sat up on a block or a blanket, maybe on your mat. Your legs can be crossed, they can be straight out in front of you. You can place one shin on top of the other if you'd like. And however you choose to sit today, just start to lower your gaze or close your eyes and come into yourself. Let today wash away. Let everything that's happened up into this moment just fall into the background. And bring the inside into focus. You can focus on the inside of your mind. You can focus on the inside of your body. You can start to turn your focus to your breath. No need to change or judge it. Just pay attention to what your breath is doing. You can start to find space along your back and neck by reaching that top of your head nice and tall towards the sky. And relax your knees down towards the ground. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your glutes or your hips. And after you've made your way into a comfortable shape, see if you can find any stuck or sore spots that you can focus your breath on. You can either visualize the air in your lungs going to that spot, or maybe just imagine that one particular muscle opening up like a flower. As you continue to breathe and look inwardly, we'll start with just some gentle head rolls, keeping your gaze lower, your eyes closed. You can start by just rocking your chin towards your chest. Maybe just making a little half circle, a little C shape with the front of the neck. And when you're comfortable, you can elongate that circle all the way around. Maybe pausing at the sides to grind in for any of those stuck or sore spots. Maybe go the opposite direction as well. You can experiment here with linking your breath to your movement. Maybe one half circle you breathe out, and the other half of the circle you breathe in. Maybe you go a one full complete circle with an inhale, and one full complete circle with an exhale. There might be some barking, the puppy's at the window. Nope, the front door, all is good. If you're comfortable with your neck rolls, you can start to move that movement into your shoulders, bringing your neck back to the center, maybe shrugging your shoulders up into the air and dropping them down the back. You can make circles coming forward and then backwards. You can make circles coming backwards and then forwards. You can alternate circles and have your shoulders roll one after the other. So make sure you move everything in both directions. Whatever you do to your left side, make sure you do to your right side. And when your shoulders feel nice and loose, you can start just by making big circles with the base of your spine, right into your hips, leaning your full torso forward and then coming around to the back. Maybe you exhale as you come forward. Maybe you change directions, coming forward again to the opposite side. Whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe you can pause on one side as you feel your hips stuck a little bit more in that section. Whatever you need to do to wake up the body. When you're feeling comfortable and nice and loosened up, you can gently open your eyes or raise your gaze. And we'll start by making cartoon cactuses with the arms. Make sure your elbow's in line with your shoulder. You're not coming too far forward or too far back. Make sure your wrists are in line with your elbow here. You can pretend you're leaning against the wall if that'll help you. From here, see if you can inhale, pull those shoulder blades together. Tighten up those rhomboid muscles. And then on your exhale, melt your shoulders down. Relax the area between the shoulder blades. On your next inhale, we'll raise the arms up into the air, shoot the fingertips out in all directions, and then exhale, place that one hand on the ground, reach the arm overhead. Make sure you have equal weight in your sit bones here. Option to shine the chest towards the ceiling. Nice deep inhale here. Nice deep exhale. On the next inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale down to the other side, reaching that opposite arm overhead. Equal weight in the sit bones, stretching in the intercostal muscles. On your next inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale your arms back down to your sides and extend your legs out in front of you. Flexing those feet towards the ceiling. You can give your knees a little shake out. You can give your knees a nice little rub if you'd like to warm them up. When you're ready to come to stillness, you can just play with pointing and flexing your feet, pointing your toes, flexing your feet. When you feel nice and relaxed in the ankles, we'll point the feet up towards the ceiling again. Pull that crown of the head nice and tall into the air. We'll take the right knee, bend it, place the right foot on the outside of the left knee. If you're happy here, you can stay. If you'd like to inhale that thigh towards the chest, maybe bringing that leg just a little bit closer, you're more than welcome to do that. Exhale here. Then we'll inhale the left arm into the air. Exhale, elbow to hook on the outside of the right knee and twist to the back of the room. Inhale, nice long spine, pull up on the crown of the head. Exhale, twist the body to the back of the room. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Inhaling for a nice long spine. Exhaling, twisting to the back. On your next inhale, you can come to the center. And then we'll exhale a nice little counter twist to the opposite side. You can release your leg on your exhale. Inhale the opposite knee bending, placing that foot on the outside of the knee. If you're happy here, stay. If not, you can hug that thigh into the chest nice and tight. Inhale that right arm into the air. Exhale, hook the elbow on the outside of the knee, and then twist to the back of the room. Inhaling a nice long spine. Exhaling, twisting to the back. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale to twist. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twisting to the back. On your next inhale, we'll come back to center, hugging that knee into the chest. Then exhaling to the opposite side for a nice little counter twist. Inhale, back center. Exhale that leg back down. Give your knees a little shake out again. We'll come to tabletop pose at the center of your mat. Knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders. Tops of the feet are flat on the mat. Pressing into the ground with all 10 fingers, all 10 tips of all 10 fingers. See if you can lift your knees off the mat. Nice little exercise. Stretch out the tops of the feet. Work those core muscles. And you can release your knees back down to the mat. Do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling here for cow, dropping that udder down, shining that chest towards the front of the room. Exhaling, making a nice big rounded spine, releasing your neck down. You can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no here, no tension in your neck. Option to tuck those toes under here if you'd like. Inhaling for cow, udder down, chest out, tops of the feet down on the mat. Exhaling, rounding in the spine, pulling the belly button back, coming into cat pose. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. You can begin to do these movements at your own pace, at your own breath. If you'd like, you can start to make S and C curves in your spine to wake up that back. And come down to a child's pose or push up to a half chaturanga if you'd like. And when you're ready to come to stillness, we'll make our way back into a neutral spine. And inhale the left arm into the air for a gentle twist. Exhale, threading that needle under, put the outside of the shoulder on the mat. Option to walk the opposite arm out in front or bring that right leg back behind you. Replace your knee, replace your hand. Lift that left arm up in the air again for your twist. And exhale your hands back down to the mat. Inhaling the right arm into the air for a gentle twist. Breathing here. On your exhale, thread that needle under. Put the outside of the shoulder onto the mat. Option to walk those fingertips out in front or spread that back leg back behind you. On your next exhale, bring your knee back, bring your palm back to the mat. Press up into the air for your gentle twist. And then exhale your hand back down to the mat, coming into tabletop pose. On your next inhale, tuck those back toes under and press yourself back up into downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. Your feet can be hips width distance apart or wider. If you'd like to start just by pedaling out the feet and gently stretching into the back of the legs. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, keep your hips square, lower that left heel down to the mat. Inhale to open up the hips, bend the knee. Exhale, option to drop that foot back behind you and lift your right arm in the air for rock star pose. Breathing here. 3 to 5 good breaths. On your next exhale, you can replace your right leg back down to the mat, and we'll inhale the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, reach that right heel back down to the mat. Inhale, bend the knee, open up the hips. Exhale, option to place the foot back behind you and lift your left arm for rock star pose. 3 to 5 good breaths here. On your next exhale, you can place your left leg back to the mat, downward facing dog. We'll inhale to roll forward to plank, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale here, and on your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Feet can be hips width distance apart or wider, whichever you prefer. And we'll start with a gentle forward fold by nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, making sure we're not holding any tension anywhere. Your knees can be bent as deeply or shallowly as you like here. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins. Inhale up to a nice flat back. Breathing here. Imagining the string coming from the top of your head being pulled forward in front of you. Now on your next exhale, fold forward again, maybe a little bit more deeply this time. Maybe now that string is pulling you down towards the mat. Maybe your knees are a little bit more shallow this time. Maybe with each exhale, you fold just a millimeter deeper. On your next inhale, we'll gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Relax the hands down at the sides. You can heel toe your feet together so that the big toes are touching and maybe the ankles or the heels are about an inch apart. Maybe your legs are a little bigger so they don't go all the way together, no big deal. Just bring them as close together as is comfortable for you. From here, we'll inhale the arms into the air. Now our exhale, we'll bend the knee and bring the bum down as far as possible for chair pose. Bring your bum down as far as you think you can, then maybe a little bit further. On your next exhale, bring the hands to heart center. We'll take that right elbow on the outside of the left knee and come into a chair pose twist. Bring that bum down even lower. Press your palms against each other. Press that elbow into the knee. On your next inhale, we'll come back up into a fully standing pose, arms in the air. Breathe here, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Inhaling. And on your next exhale, we'll bring those hands back to heart center. Bring those knees down, bring that bum down, and twist into your chair pose, twist on the other side. Pressing palm against palm, elbow against knee, twist from the midsection of the body. On your next inhale, we'll come all the way back to a standing pose with your hands reaching towards the sky. And then exhale down into a forward fold. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant the hands, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale and push back to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold all the way forward. Inhale to roll up to stand. Release your hands at either side. Inhale your arms in the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale to press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward so you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling, rolling up to stand. Exhale, release your hands at the sides. Inhale your arms above your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rolling up to stand. Exhaling your hands to either side. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhaling your arms above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Inhale your hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, rolling up to stand. Exhale, hands at your sides. Last one, inhale your arms above your head. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. And exhale, press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, rolling up to stand. Exhaling your hands to the sides. Beautiful. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Relax the glutes. Relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale your arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Bend your knees, lower your bum, chair pose. Breathing in chair, see if you can lower your bum just a little more. Your next exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep the leg forward, help it if you need to, bring it in between your hands for a low lunge. Breathing here in low lunge. Place that left hand on the mat, lift the right arm into the air for a low lunge twist. Find a lot of stability here. See if you can reach the glutes back to the back of the room, but reach that knee forward. See if you can really pull the legs here. Exhale that hand back down to the mat. And this inhale will rotate that back heel down and lift the arms in the air for warrior one. Exhale, hands back behind the back, interlace the fingers and come down for humble warrior. Inhale your arms back up into the air and exhale down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale to press back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward in between your hands, help it if you need to. Keep that right hand pressing into the mat and lift the left arm into the air for a low lunge twist. See if you can pull that back glute back behind you. Keep that knee at a right angle. Feel the length in your thighs here. Your next exhale, you can bring that hand down to frame that front foot. This time we'll inhale to rotate that back foot down and come up for warrior one. Exhale to bring the hands behind you, interlace them behind your back and come down for humble warrior. On your next inhale, back up to warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot, kick it back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale to press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, rolling up to stand. Exhaling to release your hands at either side. Excuse me. Deep breath here. Release it all out. On your next inhale, we'll lift the arms into the air. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the bum, come into chair pose. Inhaling in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knee, bring it forward, help it if you need to. You can rotate that back heel down and bring your arms up for warrior one. Exhale, hands through heart center and hook that left knee around that left elbow around that right knee for a low lunge twist. Prayer twist, high lunge twist. Option to keep the hands on the mat if that's more comfortable for you. Inhaling the arms back up to warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the mat. See that front foot, kick it back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, rolling forward to plank. Exhaling, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweep the leg forward, bring it in between your hands so you're in a low lunge. We'll inhale those arms up into the air for warrior one. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center and we'll hook that right elbow on the outside of the left knee and come into a low lunge twist. Breathing here. On your next inhale, come back into your warrior one. Exhale, back down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhaling to roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Inhale your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to roll up to stand. Deep breath here. Exhale it all out. On your next inhale, we'll lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the bum, chair pose. Inhaling in chair. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step or hop back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep the leg forward, help it if you need to. So you're in your low lunge. Make sure you have a nice sturdy low lunge here. We'll rotate that back heel down. Lift the arms into the air for warrior 1. Exhale the hands back behind the back and come forward for humble warrior. Inhaling back up for warrior 1. Exhaling out to the side for warrior 2. Breathing here. On your next inhale, bring that palm forward and then back to reverse your warrior. Make sure you're not dumping any weight in that back arm and your front knee is still bent. We'll straighten out that front knee, come back to warrior 2 arms, lean all the way forward and then down for triangle pose. Breathing here, reaching in both directions. On your next inhale, come back to warrior 2. We'll exhale down for side angle pose. Breathing here. On your next exhale, we'll windmill our arms down so you're in a wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. From here, you can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you're not holding any tension in the back of the neck. You can walk the fingertips behind you if you'd like to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. We'll walk those fingertips back out in front of you and heel toe your feet until they're quite close together. We'll do a wide-legged squat later, but right now we're just going to do a nice narrow squat. You can do Malasana. If you know Malasana, you can bring the either toes together or the actual bottoms of the feet together. But if you'd like to just come into a gentle squat here, your feet, if you find them to be too close together, you can come into hips width distance if that makes you more comfortable. But just something where maybe your feet aren't as wide as you're used to in your squat. If you'd like to play with Malasana, you can bring your knees out to the side a little bit more. Work on your balance that way. When you're ready, we'll release the hands back to the mat. Press that bum into the air. We'll make our way back into a downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, swing that foot forward in between your hands. Help it if you need to. On your next inhale, we'll come back up into a warrior one. Exhaling down to humble warrior. Inhaling up to warrior one. And exhaling out to warrior two. On your next inhale, the palm comes up and forward, and then back to reverse your warrior. Front knee is still bent. On your next inhale, you can straighten that front knee, come into warrior two, and then forward and down for triangle pose. Your hand can rest on the mat, on your shin, or on a block. On your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale into side angle pose. On your next exhale, we can windmill the arms around so you're in a wide-legged forward fold on the opposite side. Walk your fingertips back behind you. You can walk them out in front of you. When you're ready, we'll come into a standard squat, whatever that means to you. Your feet can be hips width distance apart or wider. If you'd like to squat down onto a block for some support, you certainly can. Make sure that block is supportive though. Breathing here. And when you're ready, you can release your hands, release your legs. We'll slowly make our way back to downward facing dog. When you're in down dog, you can inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. And exhale to press back to downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. 3 breaths. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat. So you're in a forward fold. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale, rolling up to stand. Shake out. All right, we'll do 2 more like that. Inhale to lift your hands into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to bend the knees, lower the bum, reach the arms forward for chair pose. Inhale in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing the leg forward. So you're in a low lunge with your right foot forward. Exhale to lower that back heel down. Inhale, bring your arms up for warrior one. Exhale, your hands back behind you for humble warrior. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale out for warrior two. Inhale, palm forward and back to reverse your warrior. Breathe here. Inhaling for triangle pose. Breathing here. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, windmill out to a wide-legged forward fold. This time we'll just work on bending one knee at a time, back and forth, just warming up to get into the side squat. When you're ready, see if you can go all the way to the side squat if you'd like. On one leg, but not the other yet. And when you're ready, you can push back up into your wide-legged forward fold and exhale down into a side squat on the other side. And when you're ready, you can come back to the wide-legged forward fold. Walk your fingertips to the front leg. Kick that front leg back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhaling to roll forward to plank. Exhaling to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knees, swing your foot forward. So you're in a wide-legged, or so you're in a low lunge. Sturdy, sturdy low lunge. Rotate that back heel down, lift the arms up for warrior one. Inhaling here, exhale, bring your hands back behind you and come forward for humble warrior. Inhale back to warrior one. Exhale out to warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to come into triangle pose. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale to side angle. Breathing here. Exhale to rotate down so you're in a wide-legged forward fold on the opposite side. From here, you can just rotate, rock back and forth, kind of the same idea as before. If you're comfortable coming all the way down into a half lunge, you certainly can. You can just bend one knee and then the other if you'd like. If you've had enough of that, you can come back to the center. We'll just walk the fingertips to the left foot and kind of stretch and reach towards the left. Breathing here. And then just gently walk those fingertips towards the right foot, reaching towards the right and breathing here. And then we'll walk the fingertips back to center. Pause for a moment. Then walk them back to the front of the mat. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling to roll forward to plank. Exhaling. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. When you're ready, you can hop or step forward to the front of the mat. So you're in a forward fold. Inhale your hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And then inhale to gently roll up to stand. Exhale, lower your hands to either side. All right. We have one more sequence and then we'll go into our balancing poses. All right. Standing at the front of the mat in mountain pose. Inhale your arms into the air. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your bum, chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale to press back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing it forward, help it if you need to. So you're in a low lunge with the right foot in front. Inhale, rotate that back heel down, lift your arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, and then exhale into triangle. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhaling here. Exhale, we'll rotate the hands down to frame that front foot. If you'd like to reach for blocks, you can. We're going to kick that back foot off the mat into the air for warrior 3. Foot is at a 90-degree angle, pressing to the back wall. If you placed a block on your hips, it'd stay up there because your hips are nice and square. Hands can be at the mat, at your heart center, on blocks, straight out in front of you, whatever you're comfortable doing. Option here to rotate those hips open so that that foot is no longer vertical but horizontal, still pressing against the back wall. And if you'd like to go into the third expression, you can always bring your hands down further towards the mat. Imagine the top of your head is being pulled towards the ground and lifting that leg up for standing splits. And we'll gently bring our back leg back down to the mat, framing that front foot with our hands. We'll kick it back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank pose. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. On your next inhale, lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing the foot forward, low lunge. Inhale, rotate that back heel down and lift your arms up for warrior one. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten that knee and then exhale down for triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhaling here. Exhaling, windmill your arms down through a wide-legged forward. Nope, don't do that. Come back into your side angle pose. Lift your arms up, then frame that front foot. Much better. Rotate off that back heel. We'll kick off that back leg into your warrior three. Foot is flexed like it's pressing against that wall. Your foot is vertical, your hips are square. Breathing here. Hands can be stretched out in front of you like Superman at heart center, on blocks, or at the mat. Option to open the hips up, bring the foot horizontal for half moon pose. And if you'd like to do the third expression of the pose, you can always fold forward, bring your hands down to the mat, and lift the leg into the air as high as possible for standing split. And when you've had enough of that, you can kick that back foot back down to the mat when you're framing your front foot. We'll kick that one back to meet the back. So you're in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step to the front of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Inhale, hands on chins, nice long flat back. Exhaling, folding forward, and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Go ahead and shake it off. We'll do a few minutes working on balancing poses. So if you'd like to squat down and come into crow, you certainly may. If you'd like to work on tree, you can. You can also do half lotus if you are interested. Starting with tree, you can either kickstand your ankles and heels together, place the foot on the calf, or press your heel into your inner thigh. The hands can be at heart center in the air. Tree is very similar to half lotus. If you'd like to go into half lotus, from here, we'll take our hands onto the ankle, point the toe, and bring the foot into the hip crease. Right here. Make sure this isn't too tough on your knee. Make sure you're not having a little pain inside your knee here. Just don't fall out of it wherever you are, just come back in. And if you're in half lotus or tree, you can go ahead and switch your feet. Bring the other foot to your calf or inner thigh or ankle or hip crease. You can release your legs wherever you are and come back to a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Standing with feet hips width distance apart. We'll inhale the arms up into the air. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, and we'll step back to downward facing dog. From here, you can roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, or exhale to press back to downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that left heel back down to the mat, bend the knee. We'll swing it forward, we'll place it on the outside of the hands, coming into lizard pose. So your right foot is on the outside of your right hand. If you're happy here, you can stay. If not, you can lower that back knee down, release the top of the foot onto the mat. From here, if you're happy here, stay. If not, if you have blocks, you can bring your elbows down to blocks, down to the mat, wherever you can reach. Feel like a lizard sunning themselves in the desert. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck. You can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no. When you're ready, you can bring your hands back down to the mat. Remove any blocks you may have. Tuck that back toe under again. We'll kick that foot back so we are in three-legged dog yet again. Check in with that left heel, bring it back down to the mat if it's rising into the air. And on your next exhale, we'll swing that shin forward and come into pigeon pose. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. Your front foot is flexed to protect your knee. Give yourself any support you may need. Inhale to shine that chest into the air. And then exhale to fold forward. On your next inhale, you can bring your chest into the air, walk your fingers back, remove any props you may have. We'll press back into a child's pose. Give your hips a little shake out. And press back into downward facing dog. Inhaling to roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bring that right heel back down to the mat if it popped up. On your next exhale, we'll bend the knee and we'll bring it to the outside of the hands for lizard pose on the left. If you're happy here, you can stay. If not, you can drop that back knee down. Bring those top of the feet to the mat. If you're happy here, you can stay. If not, you can bring your elbows or your forearms down to blocks or down to the mat. And just breathe here, hugging your shoulder against your knee. When you're ready to remove any props or blocks, bring your palms back to the mat, tuck those back toes under, kick your leg up in the air for three-legged dog. Exhale, swing the shin forward for pigeon pose. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight. Give yourself any support you may need. Shine that chest towards the ceiling and then exhale to fold forward pigeon pose. On your next inhale, you can lift your chest back to the sky, remove any props you may have. Maneuver yourself into a child's pose. Wiggle out your hips here. You can press back into a downward facing dog. Last vinyasa. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. And when you're ready, you can roll forward to plank and lower your body down. 1 movement to the mat. When you're ready, we'll roll on over to our backs. Bend your knees, bring your feet about mat's width distance, and go ahead and windshield wiper out your knees back and forth. When you're ready, you can hug those knees into your chest nice and tight. You can rock back and forth here. You can roll to and fro. You can make little circles in your knees to give yourself a low back massage if you'd like. And when you're ready, hug those knees into your chest as tightly as you'd like, and then drop them to one side for your final twist. On your next inhale, you can bring your knees back to center. And then exhale to the other side. On your next inhale, you can bring your legs back to center. Hug them into your chest nice and tight. And we'll do a gentle inversion, whatever that means to you. You can do legs up the wall if you'd like. You can come into a supported shoulder stand where you lift your sacrum onto a block, or maybe you come into a shoulder stand where you're supporting yourself with the back of your back with your hands, hoisting your chest up to meet your chin. Just bringing the feet above the head as we cool down. And gently, wherever you are, you can bring your legs back down. We'll bend the knees, hips with distance of, mats with distance apart for the feet, and then windshield wipe the knees back and forth again. This time, heel toe your feet so they're about blocks with distance apart, and we'll come into bridge pose. So you can inhale those hips into the air. Can maneuver the shoulder blades behind you, interlace your hands back behind you if you'd like, and do 3 to 5 good breaths in bridge. You can release your hands, release your shoulders, release your hips back down to the mat. We'll do 2 more like that, inhaling the hips into the air. You can wiggle your shoulder blades behind you and release your hands back behind your back if you'd like. Take 3 to 5 good breaths here. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades, rotate your back, release your back down to the mat. And we'll do 1 more like that. Inhaling the hips into the air. Wiggle your shoulder blades back behind you and release your hands behind your back. And breathe 3 good breaths here. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your back down to the mat. Windshield wiper your knees one more time. We'll hug those knees into the chest and we'll come into happy baby before your final resting pose. Reach for the inner soles of the feet with your hands and rock back and forth. Reach for your ankles or your shins. You can rock back and forth. You can practice stretching one leg out while you bend the other one in. Whatever you prefer. When you're ready, you can release your hands, release your legs down. Make sure there's no props touching you. And we're going to end class today with a gentle yoga nidra practice. And if this practice at the end of class makes you very sleepy, and you don't want to come to a full seat for our final Om and Namaste, you are more than welcome to stay resting. So let go of your breath. Let go of any thoughts in your head. We're going to start just by relaxing the big toes. You can imagine water washing over you. You can imagine yourself gently floating on the ocean. Or just imagine a wave of relaxation, starting with your big toes, moving on to all 10 toes, the balls of your feet, the arches and heels of your feet, the tops of the feet. Imagine that wave of relaxation engulfing your calves and your shins, releasing your knees, the backs of the thighs, and the fronts of the thighs, releasing in your glutes and your hips, your sacrum and your low back. Imagine your low back and mid back releasing into the mat, relaxing down. Imagine your torso protecting all your organs, just releasing to the sides. Chest is relaxing, shoulders, shoulder blades, forearms and biceps. Releasing your forearms, your wrists, your thumbs, your pointer fingers, your middle finger, your ring finger and pinky, palms of the hands, the back of the hands, back of the neck, the throat, the back of the head and the jaw, cheeks and ears, your nose, eyes, forehead, and the top of the head, all engulfed in relaxation. You can begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can introduce small movements in your fingers and toes. You can remain laying down, or you can slowly bring your way up to a seated position. Close with one Om. When you're ready, we'll bring the hands to heart center. Inhaling for Om. Oh. Excuse me. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Namaste.